Welcome to The Common Ground, where we explore how effective communication can build bridges between you and your market. Here's your host, Sterling McCormick.
Today, I want to talk about one of the most powerful, if not the absolute most powerful, skills in communication, and that's listening. This podcast is called The Common Ground because that is what we're seeking to create. We want people to meet each other on an equal footing, but to do that, both parties in a conversation have to be able to get their thoughts out to the other, and both parties have to understand the other's thoughts. But here's the thing. Most people listen to respond, not to understand. We're so focused on what we're going to say next that we miss out on the real message that the other person is trying to communicate. And that's a missed opportunity for finding common ground. True listening means being fully present. It's not just about hearing the words the other person is saying. It's about understanding the emotions, the context, and the intention behind those words. It's about creating a space where the other person feels heard and understood. Here's what that does. If the other person feels heard and understood, they begin to trust you. And of course, there are all kinds of positive things that follow trust, especially in business. If you have a product or a service for sale, you can't sell a thing until you have some level of trust. Why do you think most people look at customer reviews before making a decision whether to buy from you or not? For business owners and marketers, listening is a superpower. It helps you understand your audience's pain points, their desires, and their motivations. When you actively listen, you can craft messages that truly resonate and create deeper connections with your clients and customers. And here's the thing, they want that. They want to trust you. They want you to understand them. And they want to receive communication they can relate to. They're not coming to you hoping that you won't understand them and that they can't trust you. No one does that. They're coming to you because they have a problem. It's not about you, it's about them. When they come to you with that problem, they're hoping you do understand them and that they can trust you so that you can help them. In future episodes, we'll definitely talk a lot more about trust in your brand, but let's get back to this topic. As a sales professional, understanding this can 10x your closing rate. And the reason is because your brain shifts from jousting with your potential customer to partnering with your customer and coming to a mutually beneficial conclusion. You help them with their problem and they help you by giving you the sale. So how can we become better listeners? I'm going to give you 2 quick tips today. First, come into the conversation with a simple question, what's on your mind? Simple as that. It covers a lot. For simplicity, let's explain it in terms of talking to a potential customer. Their answer could be as simple as, I need a hammer. Or it could be a really convoluted story that includes all kinds of information about how they feel, how their day started, where they're going on vacation, how they need a vacation, and all kinds of things in between. Any of those answers are good answers. Why? Because you're allowing them to communicate their point of view. If you don't start the communication off by finding out that customer's needs, you could very easily talk yourself out of a sale because you could go down the extremely wrong path in the conversation. You start trying to sell a buzzsaw to the woman that really needs a hammer. The guy who tells you all about his week is clearly a social person who likes to connect to people in that way. And if you approach him in a very non-social and sterile way, you risk his trust. Now, for the person looking for the hammer, follow up with more questions and listen to the answers. As long as you're truly listening, that person will give you all of the information you need to help them. The conversation that starts off with, I need a hammer, can end up with you knowing the names of all their kids because they're using that hammer to put pictures up on the wall of their family, and they give you all of this information because they felt heard. And most importantly, to them, Buying a hammer isn't the reason they're there. They're there because they love their family. Buying the hammer is not an emotional thing, but what they do with the hammer is. Many times you won't get information that goes that deep, but you'll never get it if you don't bother to listen. Tip number 2. When you're in a conversation, make it a point to pause before responding. Give yourself a moment to absorb what the other person has said. This will show them that you value their input and are genuinely interested in understanding their perspective. Instead of thinking about how you're going to respond while they're talking and you're missing half of what they're saying, use this pause to think about how you're going to respond. It will do wonders for the connections you make in conversation and will do wonders for your sales. Next time, we'll dive into how my favorite topic, visual communication, can help you connect with your audience even when words fall short. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, real communication starts with real listening. Catch you in the next episode.